So Richard Hughes told us it was going to be a busy end to the window for Liverpool, a crescendo as he put it, and here we are in the final days of this transfer window, and Liverpool are putting the finishing touches to a second deal in 24 hours. Obviously he captured Georgi Mamardashvili from Valencia yesterday, and now they're very, very close to sealing a deal for Juventus winger Federico Chiesa. It's my understanding that the outline of a deal worth around 13 million euros with some potential add-ons on top of that is very, very close. It's not absolutely a done deal, Liverpool sources are telling me, but the outline is there, and the expectation around Liverpool is that those finishing touches will be put there. Such, in fact, is the confidence that Liverpool will get this over the line that they're flying the player out this afternoon from Turin to Liverpool to undergo medical and put the finishing touches to a contract. It's thought that contract's going to be around 4 years in length. That is the expectation at the moment, which I think makes sense really for a 26-year-old who's coming to a new league and with his injury history as well. So that is the expectation, a 4-year contract. But a very, very exciting and an interesting signing, I would say, for Liverpool. Obviously, Chiesa has had those injury issues, hasn't he, in the past, and he's obviously run his contract down with Juventus to its final year. So that's put them in a situation where they were willing to strike a deal this summer. He hadn't actually been training with the first team, been basically pushed out of the first team squad in the start of this season on the basis that Juventus were very much hoping to cash in and avoid losing him on a free in a year's time. And here you are, Liverpool are the ones who've made the most of it. There have been some suggestion of Barcelona potentially being interested in making a move, but they are struggling at the moment to register Dani Olmo, and they do have those financial concerns, so it's hard to see even a cut price deal like this, how they would be able to get it over the line, and that is very much proven the case with Liverpool stealing in there. And I want to talk about the reasons why they've done that. It's not just the contract situation that makes this an opportunistic deal, or the fact the injury worries that he's had again, which have potentially affected where the price is at for a player who was rated around 80 million euros, 90 million euros maybe a couple of years ago before he had that ACL injury. But it's also the fact that Liverpool, they see this as a really good opportunity because this is a player they've absolutely loved for a very, very long time. Recruitment staff been raving about him. You will have seen down the years so many links to Chiesa, and there has been an element of truth in that Liverpool were very much watching the player closely, big admirers of him. But it was one of those where they were keeping an eye on the player, but no real expectation that they'd be able to get him anytime soon, on the basis that if he'd have fulfilled his potential and he hadn't got that injury, then Juventus would have tied him down to a contract a long time ago, or he might have been making a big money move that maybe would have been outside of what Liverpool considered value. But as it is, he did have that injury, a couple of poor seasons off the back of that, or sort of a season and a half really, where he wasn't quite at full fitness and able to sort of be himself and show his best qualities. And that's led to a situation where he's 1 year out from his contract and available in what you have to say is a cut price deal. But I think what Liverpool will be encouraged by and why they've wanted to make this move is that, look, last season he had a very, very good season for Juventus. 33 appearances in Serie A, which is a very good amount. No problems in terms of availability there, certainly. And also got 9 goals and 3 assists, I believe, as well. So again, very good numbers in terms of his return there. And there's a belief also that it might even be a better fit for Liverpool's system and style of play, and coming to the Premier League might actually suit him, a sort of less restricted, less overly tactical league where it's a bit more about physicality and pace. And he's got those qualities in abundance. He also would fit in because he's got a great work rate as well, which Arne Slot football maybe is not as chaotic as Jurgen Klopp football, but very much it's about pressing and defending and being solid, and that's something that Chiesa's got in his game. And I think another element where he'll be, or could prove to be, a very smart signing as well is the fact that he can play all across that front line. I mean, Liverpool are pretty well stocked on the left hand side with Gakpo and Diaz, aren't they? But he is an option out there if you ever need it. He has played in that sort of second striker or centre forward role as well. So, Jota and Darwin Núñez at the moment are the options there, but he can cover that position. But I think it's on the right hand side where Liverpool might have the most use for him, really, is that they don't have a direct cover really on that right wing for Mohamed Salah. They do have Harvey Elliott who can play in that position. He did come on in the last game against Brentford, but he's not quite a natural there. Doesn't really have the pace to play there, does he? It's certainly in the way that Liverpool play. You'd like to see him more, Harvey Elliott, in that central midfield role where he can sort of pull the strings a little bit and really control games and use his passing quality in an inside position rather than being forced to cut in on his left, and he's not got the pace of a Mo Salah to go down the line either, so it really restricts him there. So I think having a covered, someone like Chiesa who can come in on that right hand side and be a little bit more natural would be really, really positive for Liverpool. We've seen Chiesa play in that positions many times, and I was talking to someone, Sam Maguire, you may know him, really good, he's a Liverpool supporter but also really good analyst of the game, and talking about yesterday some similarities with Diogo Jota that he has, and I actually absolutely see that. Again, that's a versatile forward capable of playing across the front line, works hard, very good in his pressing, but also a finisher when you get him in the positions. And the hope is from Liverpool's side is that he can be almost another Jota in terms of the impact he can have. He can, he wasn't necessarily seen as an unbelievable goal scorer at Wolves, but he was in a team and a system that didn't really bring the best out of him, whereas if you put Chiesa in this system, the hope is that his goal scoring on the basis of his underlying numbers will explode. And as I say, that versatility as well means he'll get an awful lot of games throughout a season, particularly if Liverpool go deep in the Cups. And also, of course, the Champions League has got 2 extra games this season, so that's another factor to consider, and why Liverpool want a collection really of 6 attackers to get them through the season. So could be a really interesting signing. I'm a little wary of saying it's an exciting signing or getting too carried away, because we know, there's no guarantee. You can't say a signing is good until they've played a few games and you see actually how they fit in and what the fitness record is like and how many games they actually do play. So wary about getting too excited on that front. But I think on the basis of what we know and what he could be, it's a very interesting signing and very fascinated to see how he gets on. So as I said, we're expecting that he will land in England shortly and undergo a medical and then put pen to paper on his contract. So we are very close to getting this one done. But it's let's see how it goes from there, and whether Liverpool, I'm sure they will. And as I say, the expectation is that they will get it over the line. But we just got to those little finishing touches to be done, and maybe even an announcement later today where we see him holding up the shirt. So very excited to see all about that and maybe see what he's got to say in an interview as well. So as usual, do let me know in the comments what you think about this signing. Very close to getting done. Interested to know whether you think it's a smart signing. Are you a little bit worried about the risk with the injury history that he's got in recent seasons, or do you think he can be okay there? What influence actually do you think the fact that Arne Slot and his team have a very good record for keeping players fit, do you think that can be helpful to Chiesa? And which position actually do you see him fitting in? Really interested to hear your thoughts as ever. And if you can like the video as well, always massively helpful. Experience some great growth over the transfer window. I'm really proud of that. But it's all down to you guys for watching and liking and sharing these videos. So I massively appreciate that. And if you are new, you just stumbled across the channel, then do hit that subscribe button as well. There's maybe a possibility of further signings to come. Liverpool have got 2 over the line now. Could there even be a third? Could something happen around that defence in terms of potential outgoings with Joe Gomez? My understanding is that if Joe Gomez were to go, then Liverpool would look to find a replacement. So there could be updates around that to come. So do hit that subscribe button. Make sure you don't miss any updates. And hopefully I'll see you guys very soon.